The human fascination with sexuality and eroticism is as ancient as our species itself. Across time and civilizations, expressions of sexuality have manifested in diverse forms, through art, literature, cultural practices, and intimate relationships. However, one area that has remained largely unexplored until recent archaeological advancements is the study of prehistoric eroticism. Specifically, the interpretation of Stone Age artifacts as early sexual implements challenges conventional perceptions of prehistoric life as being purely survival-focused. This documentary delves deep into the enigmatic world of prehistoric eroticism, examining artifacts that suggest early humans possessed not only a functional understanding of sexuality, but also a symbolic and ritualistic relationship with it. The evidence unearthed from archaeological digs across Europe, Africa, and Asia paints a vivid picture of early human sensuality. From intricately carved figurines representing exaggerated sexual features to phallic-shaped tools and objects that may have served ritualistic or intimate purposes, the findings raise compelling questions about the role of sexuality in prehistoric societies. This exploration is not merely a sensationalist interpretation of archaeological artifacts, but an earnest inquiry into the complexities of human sexuality's evolutionary history. The most basic interpretation of prehistoric sexuality has often been reduced to a reproductive function. Survival imperatives, particularly during the Paleolithic era, undoubtedly placed a high emphasis on procreation. Yet, emerging evidence from archaeological findings suggests that early humans' engagement with sexuality extended far beyond the utilitarian need to reproduce. Instead, sexual behavior likely intertwined with social bonding, pleasure, and symbolic practices, reflecting a more nuanced understanding of eroticism. Studies of primate behavior offer vital clues to this interpretation. For example, bonobos, one of humanity's closest genetic relatives, engage in sexual activities for reasons beyond reproduction, such as conflict resolution and social bonding. Among the most well-documented prehistoric artifacts associated with sexuality are the Venus figurines. Discovered across Europe and dating back approximately 25,000 to 30,000 years, these small statues often depict female figures with exaggerated breasts, hips, and genitalia. Some of the most famous examples include the Venus of Willendorf, Venus of Hohlefels, and Venus of Lespugue. Traditional interpretations of these figurines suggest that they symbolized fertility and were possibly used as talismans to ensure successful childbirth or abundant hunting. However, alternative readings propose that these artifacts served as early representations of eroticism and sensuality. The detailed carvings of sexual features hint at an intimate appreciation of the female form, possibly reflecting both personal and societal engagements with sexuality. In addition to the Venus figurines, phallic-shaped objects have been found in various archaeological contexts, dating as far back as 28,000 years. One of the most prominent examples is the Hohlefels phallus, a siltstone artifact from Germany believed to represent a stylized penis. Measuring approximately 20 centimeters in length, this artifact raises significant questions about its intended purpose. While some scholars argue that such artifacts were primarily symbolic, perhaps used in fertility rituals or as representations of masculine power, others suggest that these objects could have served as early sexual implements or tools for intimate stimulation. Where patterns found on certain phallic-shaped artifacts support the hypothesis of their use in physical interaction rather than mere symbolic display. Cave art offers another fascinating glimpse into the potential expressions of prehistoric eroticism. While much of the artwork discovered in sites such as Lascaux in France and Altamira in Spain primarily depicts animals and hunting scenes, some lesser-known examples include depictions of human sexuality. These images are often more abstract and harder to interpret, but certain figures suggest intimate human interactions. For instance, the cave art discovered at the Grotte de Chauvet includes imagery that some researchers believe represents sexual scenes or symbolic expressions of fertility and desire. Though not as overt as the Venus figurines or phallic artifacts, these images reflect a cultural awareness of human sexuality and its integration into spiritual or ritualistic practices. The integration of sexuality into ritualistic practices appears to have been a significant aspect of prehistoric societies. Early humans likely viewed sexual acts not only as physical engagements, but also as spiritually meaningful experiences. Archaeological evidence from burial sites reveals symbolic associations between sexual imagery and death, suggesting that early humans may have linked concepts of life, death, and rebirth through sexual symbolism. For instance, in certain Mesolithic and Neolithic burial sites, phallic stones and figurines have been found in proximity to graves. These artifacts could indicate a belief in the regenerative powers of sexuality or the cyclical nature of life and death. In some instances, grave goods also included Venus figurines, hinting at the symbolic importance of fertility and sensuality in the afterlife, or as a means of ensuring rebirth. Beyond the ritualistic and symbolic dimensions, there is growing evidence that prehistoric eroticism might have also played a role in everyday life. Archaeological findings of smoothed and polished stone objects resembling modern sexual devices suggest that early humans may have sought physical pleasure in their daily experiences. While it is difficult to ascertain the exact use of such artifacts due to the lack of written records, comparative ethnographic studies indicate that many pre-modern societies incorporated sexuality into daily life, without the taboos commonly associated with modern civilizations. The absence of restrictive sexual mores in prehistoric societies could mean that objects designed for intimate stimulation were neither shameful nor hidden, but accepted as natural aspects of human life. One of the most compelling aspects of studying prehistoric eroticism is its implications for understanding gender roles and power dynamics in early human societies. Traditional archaeological interpretations have often imposed modern gender biases onto prehistoric artifacts, leading to skewed understandings of sexuality and social organization. Recent feminist and queer theory approaches in archaeology challenge these assumptions, proposing that prehistoric societies may have embraced more fluid gender roles and egalitarian relationships regarding sexuality. The prominence of female-centered artifacts, such as the Venus figurines, suggests a reverence for the female form and possibly a matrifocal orientation in some societies. The study of prehistoric eroticism has often been met with skepticism or outright dismissal due to modern taboos surrounding sexuality. Many early archaeologists avoided interpretations that suggested sexual purposes for artifacts, instead favoring utilitarian or symbolic explanations that conform to societal norms of their time. However, contemporary researchers advocate for a more open-minded approach that acknowledges the possibility of sexual symbolism and function in prehistoric objects. As societal attitudes toward sexuality become more accepting, the field of erotic archaeology gains legitimacy, encouraging scholars to re-examine existing artifacts with fresh perspectives. The exploration of prehistoric eroticism challenges traditional narratives of early human history, revealing a multifaceted relationship between sexuality, spirituality, and social interaction. Stone Age artifacts, from Venus figurines to phallic tools, suggest that early humans possessed a sophisticated understanding of sensuality that extended beyond mere reproductive necessity. These findings not only enrich our understanding of prehistoric societies, but also offer valuable insights into the enduring nature of human sexuality. By embracing the study of prehistoric eroticism without prejudice or sensationalism, we gain a deeper appreciation of the cultural, spiritual, and personal dimensions of human desire across time.